Joining us now, a man who hasn't been afraid to criticize the central bank, Congressman Ron Paul. He's a Republican from Texas, also a presidential candidate. Were you watching yesterday, Congressman, as the statement was coming out? And what do you do? Do you sort of, as you hear each additional statement, what was your reaction?
Well, more of the same. I wasn't surprised. That's the only thing that the Fed knows how to do, and that's the only thing Bernanke ever believed in. For him to have done something differently would have been a real surprise to me. But the results of what he said wasn't a surprise at all. I mean, it's just further devaluation of the currency, and that is why gold prices went up. Actually, gold prices don't go up. It's just that the dollar goes down, and people are anticipating the dollar is going to continue to lose its value, so we can anticipate that there's going to be a lot of price inflation down the road.
I mean, it is, at this point, is it parabolic yet in gold in your view? I know you're not, obviously you're not a gold investor, but when it moves $60 day in and day out and everything seems to be going in its favor, I mean, do you think that it can go to $2,000, $3,000?
Oh, yeah, because it could go to zero if we continue to do what we're doing. Because the bubble that I'm concerned about, I don't think gold is what you would call a bubble. I think the bubble is in the price of bonds. I mean, how could anybody have this much trust in the bonds and buy a 30-year bond and earn the interest rates they're making? That's where the big bubble is. But I think what's happening today, and why I see this as such a serious thing, is that I think what we're dealing with is the end of the dollar reserve standard, and that's a worldwide phenomenon. It's not just for the United States. Just think how many dollars we've exported, how many people hold dollars. And if this dollar is in big trouble, which is what I think is the problem, I mean, this is just not a minor problem. This is probably a bigger problem than the world has ever faced before. Never has been a fiat currency been used as a reserve standard as so pervasively around the world, and there's not many other places to go, even though they're still, going to treasury bills, but eventually they're going to give up. I mean, just look at what's happening to the Swiss franc. There aren't enough Swiss francs for everybody to buy Swiss francs, so there's not much left other than commodities, and real value. So actually, I think that's what's going to happen, but it's going to reflect the devaluation of the dollar. I was really impressed in 1971 when the dollar relationship to gold went up $3 an ounce, and I was really impressed and motivated me to get very much involved in politics. So you can imagine what I think about 1/1700th of an ounce of gold is a dollar. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I'm utterly amazed that this lasted this long, and they're desperately trying to keep this together because everybody has an interest in saving the dollar, even the Chinese are. But believe me, I do not believe you can save the dollar reserve standard.